do this.
That's
a fun button.
Two guys talking without wearing pants. Pantless Podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless Podcast. Here's your host, Austin and Travis. Take it away, guys. What's going on? I'm trying to multitask over here, and it's actually working.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Oh, there we go.
Boom.
Oh, there we go. We're gonna have to look see how that looks. I like it.
I'm sure it looks great.
How you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Doing great.
What have you been eating lately?
You know, I had something the other night. I can't remember. I was like, hey, I need to remember to talk about this. Oh, the wife made a fantastic cabbage soup.
Oh, no. I'm not a fan of cabbage.
Oh my gosh.
Soup is meh.
It was good.
Yeah.
Ground turkey meat, cabbage, and just a bunch of other seasonings in a crock pot for like 8 hours. And it
You
was
should
good.
call it turkey soup and say it's garnished with cabbage. And then people will be like, oh, okay.
I guess I bought too big of a head of cabbage, so it was like half a cabbage is what she used for it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had some bologna yesterday. And I was
What was
like,
its first name?
salt. It was so salty. I was like, oh my gosh, can I please get some bologna with this salt? It was insane. It was pretty tasty, but I felt my blood pressure rising and I was getting dehydrated. And
That's good.
so I got to try your biscuits and chocolate gravy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The-
the kids loved it.
When I first saw your picture, I was like, "What is this?" And then I showed it to my wife. She's like, "What is he eating?" I'm like, "It took me a minute to figure it out." But they loved it.
Yeah. The wife didn't get it because I wasn't able to keep it warm. And
That's the problem.
Yeah, it was after a couple hours, it cools off, and then it's just
Pudding.
pudding.
It's just pudding. I can't.
Yeah.
I had no answers for you because you're like, she'll be home in an hour. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. But she admitted, she's like, I don't know. She goes, I like biscuits and I like pudding. She goes, I just don't know if I'd put them together. But the kids loved it. I loved it. I'm sure we'll be doing it again sometime in the future.
Do you agree it's one of those dishes where you're like, we've had it this year, we're good?
Yeah, I can see that.
We do it like 2-3 times a year, if that. It's not very often. We like to do it beginning of the year so that we guarantee that we haven't kept our New Year's resolutions. You know?
Yeah, it's your resolution buster. Like we like to start it off.
Or it's our cheat days. We're doing it at the end of the year so that you can start anew the next year.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's so good. There was something else we did. We had a pork loin tonight, that's just
I love pork loin.
I love them. They're so good. You just put them in the oven for an hour and what started out as I was gonna make spam and rice for the wife and kids the other night, but I found a bag of potatoes in the kitchen that were kind of on the edge. Like they were like, if I let them sit for too much longer, they'd have not been good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I diced them up and did fried potatoes. But then that evolved into mixing the cubed spam into the potatoes. Then evolved even more into cracking some eggs and just making a breakfast scramble out of it. So I made up spam, potato, and eggs.
Sounds fantastic.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Spicy ketchup over the top of it.
Ooh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to stop talking yet, sir. Just keep going.
Shredded cheese over the top.
Oh, yeah, all right. Well, that'll do it for this week. Come back next week when we actually review our movie.
And people say you can't make spam good. I always make spam good. I love that stuff.
Is fantastic. I can eat spam out of the can.
That's how you get it. Oh, you're
I mean,
talking about
straight out. Give me a plastic fork and a can of
Yeah.
Spam and stick me in a car for
Okay.
an hour. I'm happy.
Okay, so we agree on Spam. What's your thoughts on potted meat?
I don't really do potted meat.
Have you ever had
I'm,
potted meat?
I
I
think
grew up
so.
eating it.
I'm
little bitty
opinionless.
cans.
Yeah, I'm opinionless on
Okay.
potted.
So my grandma used to feed us potted meat and cheese sandwiches. You take
Okay.
one can, spread it on some white bread, slice of cheese.
So
some
one
mayonnaise.
can is worth one sandwich.
One can is a sandwich, yeah.
How much is a can of potted meat?
It's like 30 cents.
Oh,
It's like 25, 30 cents. They went up in price lately. They're getting to where
everything has. I mean,
I think a can of Spam is like $1.25 now. I'm like, what's going on here? I think a packet of ramen noodles is like 33 cents now.
that's outrageous,
Like, this is expensive. How am I supposed to afford to eat?
right?
I remember when like the Totino's party pizzas were like 50 cents a piece, and what was it? The banquet pot pies were like $1, and a box of Kraft mac and cheese was like 25 cents. When you can afford to be poor.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore.
Like, what are you supposed to eat if you truly don't have any money? Like, if I was making what I made as a single person and prices were at what they are now, I wouldn't have been able to afford to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Just say a bunch of stupid stuff and eat your words. That's probably all you can do.
Those taste better, and I don't like it. I don't like it, sir. Hey, did you see that an event in Pokemon is going on right now that nobody cares about?
The
I almost didn't mention
Armor
it.
Rouge thing.
Yeah, the Armor Rouge and Ceruledge. It ends on the 5th, which is, I think, Sunday. So,
Oh, that's this weekend's event.
yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't. Is there an appeal? Do you get? Is it got a special ability?
It's one of those. No, it's
Increased
one of
shiny
those.
chance?
There might be I don't think it's an increased shiny chance. It's one of those. If you haven't completed your Pokedex, you could jump in. Like if you had like I have Scarlet, I could jump in to someone that's hosting a Violet raid and get the version exclusive I don't have in a raid.
Okay.
Or I could easily get the one the one I need, because that one was kind of a pain in the backside to get, because you had to get those.
Yeah.
Like you had to find that guy in Zapdos town.
Yeah.
I just call him something close to that, but you had to find that guy, and he's like, hey, if you bring me 10 of these, I'll give you this item, and you just had to know that was the item that you had to give that Pokemon.
Yeah.
I was playing through and doing some raid stuff the other day, and I was doing some Let's Go battles, and I guess I defeated a Goomy, and its drop item is Goomy Goo. And I had a good giggle. Like, that's gross.
I'm actually playing through on my wife's account because I'm hoping one of our friends is going to have Scarlet and be able to do a triangle trade with me where I'm like, okay, I'll give you my wife's Miraidon,
Yeah.
and then I'll jump into my account, and then you give me your Kiraidon.
Yeah, I just don't have... I've only got one online account. So, I can play on a different profile on my Switch, but I can't do any online stuff.
How many of our crew have the other one? Do you know? I know Gert's got it. He's got both of them.
He got both.
But I don't know about the twins.
I
If
want to
either
say
of them,
Cram
you would imagine
got...
one would have one and the other would have the other.
I know Cram got Scarlet, I think. I want to get Violet just to see the little bit of the differentiating storylines.
Yeah.
This game, and I don't know if I ever mentioned this, it frustrated me and also made me happy that the clothing in this game was not a thing anymore. Like, I guess you could change your socks, shoes, glasses, and gloves, but I guess you always had to be wearing the uniform.
Right.
You could just change what variation of your uniform. So there was no, like, hey, you want to go buy some of these clothes? And you had, like, a full, like, they wanted you to spend all your money on clothing like Sword and Shield did. There really wasn't much customization, which I put the racing helmet on my guy so you never can see his face anymore.
Yeah.
Going to race.
I stole that from you, and I do that
Yeah.
too.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm wearing. But
I feel like the Green Ranger. It just looks like a Power Ranger helmet.
yeah, I don't even remember what color one I'm wearing. I think it's like a gray color.
You remember when the Green Ranger was still alive? Rip.
Sad face. Remember when people cared about Power Rangers?
Yeah. They had like I saw I think it was like a YouTube short of, they said Tommy's last morph, and apparently it was in like season 47, and there were like 13 different versions of Power Rangers all together. You know, like how they had like Dynamax and Space Force, and it was like a giant collab where it had all of them, and then he was the Green Ranger, and then he was like, all right, this isn't working. And then he morphed into the White Ranger and jumped into his Falcon and like just immediately killed the thing that they were fighting.
Nice. I've actually...
I was like, I would love to see the lead up to that. Be like, how is this working?
Did you know the Power Rangers actually there's an official Power Rangers YouTube channel? That streams 24/7 Power Rangers. It's like everything Power Rangers is actually... I'm actually subscribed to it. I actually watched some of it so I haven't watched any in a while. But it's just called Power Rangers Official. They're actually currently live streaming Power Rangers Jungle Fury full season, Power Rangers Super Samurai full season, and Mega Force and Super Mega Force the complete story.
Okay.
It's currently what they're live streaming all 3 of those seasons right now.
Like you're watching 3 videos at once?
No, just you pick one and you watch it.
They have one channel and it's
live streaming
3. Live streaming 3.
3.
How do you do that? That's crazy.
I don't even know. But you can watch season 2 on a playlist. The first, like, here's season 1, season 2, season 3, season 3A, season 4, season 5, all on this YouTube channel that you can just watch for free. So if you want to watch the old Power Rangers, like, all of them are on here. It's, I went ahead and it popped up the other day, a while back, and I went ahead and subscribed to it, just in case I wanted to watch, like, the original stuff. And then I see it live streaming. It just says live 24/7. Like, alright, calm down there, Chief. So, I know you're probably about to start watching that, but got any breaking news?
A little bit. Have you seen Shania Twain lately?
She's married to Garth, right?
No.
Is that not her?
No, that's
Trisha, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Trisha Yearwood, yeah.
I always get them confused.
They have something in common now. Shania went completely platinum blonde. So even if you saw her, you wouldn't even know that that's who that was. She does not look anything like she used to. That brunette Canadian singing American country music back in 1998. Totally different looking. And everybody's talking about it.
Here's a picture with her with what looks like pink or purple hair.
She just recently had pink hair, yeah, but she has like short pink hair, but now she's got long platinum blonde.
Huh. Interesting.
Like that I don't even know who that is. I don't know who you are anymore.
To think people care about the hair color of a celebrity. One of these days,
That's all they're talking about, man.
one of these days we'll get there.
We'll go platinum blonde, and people are like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
I'm currently working on going gray, but I mean,
Yeah, it's
kind of half.
It's slow. It's a slow process.
No, it happened pretty quick. It started out quick. It jumped out the gate and got real tired, and just stopped. Because people are like, "Oh, if you pull a white hair, it'll grow 5 more." I'm like, pulling all of them out.
Yeah.
Prove that false, because they never grew back to the right color. I just was bald on this side of my face. Man, must have been a slow news day if that's our breaking news.
Yeah, nobody died, so
Oh,
I mean, I guess that's good.
I think somebody probably did, but we'll
But probably nobody important.
everyone's important, sir.
Yeah, but some people are more important than others.
That's fair. I can't argue with that.
What else? What else we got? God, I don't know. Super Bowl's coming up soon. Who do you have?
Oh, Kansas City.
You got Kansas City?
Yeah, I just can't find myself rooting for the Eagles.
Yeah. See, I'm in the same exact boat. I really think the Eagles will dominate,
No,
but I'm gonna be pulling for Kansas City. The Eagles are so good, man, and Kansas City is beat up.
they look good.
Kelsey's hurt. Mahomes is hurt.
He's not really hurt though. He tweaked his back in practice right before that game, but still looked good in the AFC title game. And have you watched his podcast? Did you know he had a podcast?
My wife just told me that today, and that was the first thing I heard
The
about it.
Kelsey brothers have a podcast called New Heights. I guess they started it at the beginning of the football year. I guess they've only been doing it for less than a year. And it's like, I think they're rated the number one podcast on Apple Podcasts right now. Feel attacked.
Right? Yeah. It's not fair.
Only if we were famous football players. But I watched it was the first one I watched was this last one, and I only watched like half of it, and he didn't mention anything about any kind of injury. Like, he's playing no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia's playoff run was the Giants, who were just absolutely horrible. I don't even know how they got where they got. They were horrible.
They were good. They were good.
And then San Francisco. Did you watch that San Francisco game?
Yeah.
Purdy gets hurt in like the second or third play of the game. Their fourth string quarterback gets a concussion in the third quarter.
Yep.
And then Purdy has to come back in but can't throw the ball because he's got a jacked up elbow.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, so I heard somebody after the Kansas City game talking about that. They're like, what if I told you Brock Purdy starts and finishes a game, throws no incomplete passes, and they get beat by 30?
Yeah.
Would you believe me? But like, no. But that's exactly what happened. He did not throw an incomplete pass that whole game.
what did he throw? Like 4 or 5 passes total?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know how Kansas City is notoriously known for playing everyone close. Like, teams that they should blow out, they barely beat.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I think it's going to come, It's gonna be like the New England Patriots Super Bowls from years back when they always won it. They'd blow everyone out throughout the season, and when the Super Bowl, they'd win it by a last-minute field goal.
Unless they played the Giants, then they would lose.
They would lose to the Giants, and yeah, the Giants. But they always would win their the Super Bowls that they won. They always won. I don't think they blew out anybody
Right.
in Super Bowls. They always won it by a possession. That's why everybody claimed it was rigged.
Yeah. I don't know. Eagles look so good, and Kansas City just doesn't. I'm pulling for Kansas City. Don't get me wrong. I'm pulling for them. I'm hoping Mahomes gets him one. Another one. Because,
Mahomes has been there.
Yep.
Hurts hasn't.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to look this up because I don't care to know the true answer, so I'm just going to make stuff up as I go.
Perfect.
Is this the first time OU has had a quarterback in the Super Bowl?
Troy Aikman won 3 Super Bowls, sir.
He never played for OU.
Yeah, he did. He transferred from OU to UCLA.
Yeah, but I don't consider him an OU quarterback. He didn't graduate from OU.
Yeah,
I don't count him.
Tits, tats.
Did he ever play as a
I don't know that he actually ever even started.
He never played.
I just know he went there and Barry Switzer's like, we run a wishbone here. Your arm might do better at UCLA. And he's like, all right, I'll go to UCLA.
Could you truly consider Hurts an OU quarterback? Because he started at Alabama.
Right.
He started. He played in a national title game.
Apparently, we stole him. OU stole him from Alabama because they put up his portrait and like he is officially an OU quarterback. And Bama fans like, good, we don't want him anyway. And OU's like, haha, yeah, we have this painting up on our walls.
Yeah.
So I think he is, but he might be the first OU quarterback. He might be. I can't think of any.
Okay. Let's not count because nothing happened before 2000, right?
What?
Well, OU football. Well, I mean, from what was it? 90. When was the last time OU was good before 2000? 80 something.
It was in the 80s.
OU wasn't good in the 90s.
Right.
So.
And before that, their running backs were the stars.
Yeah, they didn't have.
Their quarterbacks were like non-factors, basically.
They really didn't start having notable quarterbacks until the 2000s.
Correct.
So, Heupel didn't really do much in the NFL.
Nope.
I don't think he did anything in the NFL. I think he was on a couple teams, but I don't think he ever played. What was quarterback after him was White.
Yeah, Jason White.
Jason White, which
trophy winner.
He didn't have any knees, so he really didn't do well in the NFL.
That's true.
I don't even remember who came in after him. There was somebody. I can't remember who it was.
Wasn't another Jason something? It wasn't
Something
White.
like
it was
that.
A different Jason, I think.
But then you had Baker.
Well, you had Sam Bradford.
Oh, I forgot. He was the other knee. He was the other knee.
Yeah, he was another. Yeah, he was another
kneeless player.
Yeah.
He came in with like 2 knee braces. He may have been the one I was thinking of instead of Jason White. Jason White had some knee problems too, but
Jason White. Yeah, Bradford, at least I know Bradford played a couple of games in the NFL. I can't remember if White did or not.
He was so White played on a couple of teams, but I think he sells heat and air conditioners here in Oklahoma now. I see him on TV every so often.
Yeah, and you can find him sometimes at a Reese's signing autographs.
Yeah. Found his true calling.
Yeah.
Bradford played for the Rams.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
But then he played for somebody. Did he go to Minnesota?
I think he did go to Minnesota. I think you're right. Yep.
So I think he was drafted by the Rams out of St. Louis at the time. He was a St. Louis Ram where he got drafted. Then I think he went to Minnesota because all quarterbacks in the early 2000s went to Minnesota after they were. That was like where quarterbacks went to die in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Said Bradford, but then did you have Baker after that? Had a
Um.
couple quarterbacks that never really got drafted.
Yeah, I know Paul Thompson was a thing.
Remember him?
I don't think he got. I don't think he got drafted. But I mean, recently, yeah, it was Baker, Kyler, Jalen, all super high draft picks. I think Baker and Kyler were number one overalls.
Which ones? I thought Bradford
Baker,
was.
yeah, Bradford was the number one overall too. Yep, Bradford was. Baker was. Kyler was. And the most successful out of everyone is Jalen. And I don't. Where was he? Like a second or third round? Or where he
I thought he was a first round pick.
was he? He was first round.
Let's see here. Let's see Here's a list of starting quarterbacks in OU. So in 2000, you had Heupel. Then Jason White followed Heupel for 4 years. I don't know if Jason White was. Nate Hibble. Remember him?
Oh, Hibble. Yeah.
Remember him? I think he was Heupel's backup. Rhett Bomar. Remember him?
No, I don't remember Brett Bomar.
He was.
I remember the name, but I don't remember.
He was the quarterback that I think got caught with illegals, and Stoops kicked him off the team.
Oh gosh.
He was a freshman. He was that up and coming, the next big thing. He ended up getting drafted in like the 5th round out of some D2 school.
Oh, okay.
Because he was that good. But I think in the preseason, he got caught with some stuff that was not good. And instead of, having a chat with him and letting him get a second chance, Stoops was just like, nope, you're gone. And just kicked him off the team immediately. Never played a snap for OU. But Paul Thompson, Sam Bradford was an 07. Landry Jones was the one I was forgetting.
Oh, Landry, yeah. I forgot about Landry, too.
He was a freshman Bradford's final season. Then you had Blake Bell, Trevor Knight.
Okay, yeah.
Which Blake Bell, technically...
Yeah. He's in the Super Bowl.
He's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
As a tight end for Kansas City.
Yeah.
I remember Trevor Knight. Oh, we forgot to mention this no-name OU quarterback. Kyler Murray.
I mentioned him several times, sir. Don't you dare.
Oh. Man, that had to have been a rough year in '98 when they had 5 quarterbacks listed on the roster on this Wikipedia page, and I don't know any of them.
Right, yeah.
Brandon Daniels, Jake Sills, Eric Moore, Patrick Fletcher, and Jared Reese.
Never heard of any of them.
Never heard of them. I remember Justin Fuente. I remember hearing that name.
That sounds familiar. Is he a pro? Or was a pro?
He was their quarterback for 1 year in '96. No, he was there in '97 as well. I don't think so. Steve Collins. I remember him in the early '90s. There it shows 84-85. Troy Aikman was on the roster.
Yeah.
Even if you go way back, none of these quarterbacks were ever really... None of these quarterbacks sound familiar as NFL quarterbacks. Even going back to the 50s. So, Jalen Hurts possibly could be the first OU quarterback to win a Super Bowl as a quarterback.
He could, and I think he will. I don't want him to, but I think he will.
I was wrong. Rhett Bomar played one game before being dismissed from the team. Oh no, he didn't get his wasn't a drug deal. It says in August 2nd, 2006, Bomar was dismissed from the team by OU head coach Bob Stoops. It was reported that he was paid for work by Big Red Sports and Imports, a car dealership owned by a major University of Oklahoma donor, but that he did not complete the work. Like literally, they're like, oh, he came in and he was working for us. They cut him a large check, but he had never stepped foot on the car lot at all. So,
Shame.
but I think he went to Sam Houston State where he finished his career. And then got drafted by he was a 5th round pick to the Giants. And guess where he went after the Giants?
Minnesota.
And where did he go after? And where do quarterbacks truly go to die?
Cleveland.
Well, you're not wrong. Oakland.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, Oakland is the Cleveland of California. That's a fact.
They're not in California anymore. So.
There is no other city more Cleveland than Oakland.
So.
Okay. Anyway.
So. But guess what's more important that starts this weekend? Starts Sunday. That I'm super excited for, and nobody else cares. And if we have any, God, I was cutting a promo for it. I was getting ready for it. If we have any listeners who are half as excited as I am about what goes down Sunday, shoot us a message. Give us a voicemail. Did we? We sent out a call for a voicemail last week. Did we get anything?
No.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything yet.
We suck.
No, they suck.
We didn't even check it.
I check whenever we create. No, we don't. Whenever it's time to create a new podcast, I check, but we haven't got it.
That's fair. Maybe next week, because you didn't give us our yearly metrics for how we did last year on the audio side.
Am I supposed to do that?
We did it last year.
Pull up annual metrics.
Generally, we get a year-end review with
A state of the podcast address.
I want to say we get a year-end review with Anchor every year. I haven't checked our email in a while, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, we did get. I saw that email come through.
Yeah,
I just didn't look at it.
But we're back to what I was saying. The Clash at the Coliseum is this weekend. I'm excited because this is the 75th year of NASCAR. They're doing a big deal. 75 years of NASCAR. I'm excited. Excited.
Yeah.
Football there's no more good games on this year for football. NASCAR is back on. The first NASCAR race of the season is on the same night as the Pro Bowl. So,
does anybody care about the Pro Bowl?
No.
You were talking about NASCAR. I would probably watch NASCAR before the Pro Bowl.
Hell yeah, you would. I think the Pro Bowl's on in the morning. I think the Pro Bowl's on like 1 or 2, and the the Clash at the Coliseum doesn't start until like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Just stupid.
Wow. Why is it so late?
It's over in California. This is in California, so I think they're trying to get like an 8 o'clock California start. So it's gonna be like 6 or 7 here. I didn't look on my calendar. That's the exact start time. 7 p.m. is when it'll start here. 7 to 11. Sunday night. So I'll be calling in sick to work that next day. Monday? Yeah.
This coming Monday. Please don't.
That's a joke. I'd never
Yeah.
do that. I would never. No,
Yeah, okay, good.
I'd never fake an illness to watch a sporting event, sir. I'd never do that.
But you can schedule personal time off.
No, I don't.
Sporting event.
I wouldn't be able to schedule it now because I will be back to work till Monday.
Okay.
Wink, wink. Smiley
Okay.
face.
Oh gosh. Let's not talk about work. Oh, a little off.
It didn't even show up on my screen, so I don't even.
This is what you're meaning to do. Winky face.
I think it was that one. So
342 listens last year, sir.
that's not bad, actually. 340 more than I thought it would be. How many of those were you?
I honestly don't know if I listened to one of our episodes last year.
I don't.
I've been really bad about. I haven't been listening. I used to listen because I couldn't. I could never remember what our movie of the week is.
Oh, so you watched the episode again?
So I would listen to get the movie of the week, but I haven't done that in a long time, and I've just really just had to sit there. What am I supposed to be watching?
My problem is, so we record, then I edit.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it I don't want to watch this a third time just to get another view.
Right. Yeah.
So, you don't get one from me.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. Anchor thinks we have about 5 people that have listened, like 5 individuals
Hey.
have listened this past week. On average, we get 3 individuals listening per episode.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I know of at least 2 people who listen to us on the way back and forth to work when they do show up to work.
Okay. All right.
One that won't be at work anymore after next week.
Oh, snap. Oh.
You know who it is.
No, I don't.
Isn't there someone quitting Wednesday? Their last day is Wednesday?
Oh, that individual. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then their relative.
If that's what you want to call him.
I mean, it's official. They're officially related now.
Are they?
So.
Oh, okay.
You were way too quiet right there. Like, nothing picked up. I'm sure the people listening heard it, but Discord was like, he was too quiet for you to listen to him.
I realized why one of our videos probably never got out to anybody.
Were we shadow banned? Did we talk about...
Somehow, our Die Hard episode got made for kids. And it's claiming that I said it made for kids.
Made for kids?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So now we've got, like, 0 children running around going yippee-ki-yay, MFer.
It's only had 1 view. I thought that may have been we had 1 video back here that has still not seen any views.
Nobody's...
And I thought that may have been that one, but it's not. I must have uploaded that one, like, super late at night. When I was half asleep. I'm going to have to go in and see if I can get that adjusted before we get in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of Die Hard, we watched a movie this week.
Retro movie review.
How young did everyone look?
Everyone. Because they
So
were.
so many big name actors. So many.
Don't look into it too much. It'll kind of disturb you a little bit. Claire
Okay.
Danes is 15 in this movie. Like, as an actress. She's 15 to 16.
As a in real life.
In real life,
right?
she's 15 or 16. DiCaprio is either 21 or 22.
Well, they don't do anything outrageous like
They make out a lot.
Yeah, but not like the older one where there was stuff.
There was that one scene near the end when they I guess, consummate the marriage.
Right.
It's like, that's a bit more back than I would have expected to see from her. After watching that video at work, this movie made me uncomfortable.
Oh, you were watching it at work?
No, the training video at work we had to watch.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, this movie made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I had a hard time following the dialogue in this movie, since all the dialogue in this movie was original dialogue from Shakespeare's script. Like, they didn't change. I think they changed a few things up. Like, maybe a few things. But the way they talked and the cadence at which they talked, that made it sound like it was like they were speaking poetry to each other, and they were on a stage play, and they were still speaking in that medieval tongue, but in modern times. I couldn't stop laughing at, early on when Romeo and Mercutio are talking back and forth. Or was it the other guy, Flat Top, and Romeo were talking? The guy that was always shirtless.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name all of a sudden. I think it was... What?
I don't remember what his name was. It wasn't... Balthazar was the young
guy.
Right.
It was the other one.
Hair.
I can't remember.
I can't remember his name.
But, just... what they were saying wasn't funny, but the way they were talking to each other and the words they were using, I thought it was funny, but I couldn't follow a word they were saying. Like, there was a lot of stuff I missed in this, just because I'm like, you guys are talking in a manner from which I can't follow this dialogue. Especially when Mercutio would start talking super fast.
Yeah.
Right before he gave him that pill.
Yeah.
A lot of drugs in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
All.
Mercutio was an interesting character.
He was hilarious. He was an awesome character. Can you believe that was a character that they put in a movie in '96? When that seems like that's a character that fit into a movie nowadays?
Yeah. Well, now, if they put him in a movie now, if they release this movie today, people would be like, oh, the woke agenda is alive and well. It would be, super controversial today. And back then, it's like, meh.
It makes me just think of that Tu Wong Fu.
Exactly, yep. Yep.
Where, when those movies came out, when they did, everybody's like, all right. I mean, it's what it is. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, it'd be scrutinized for being too woke. And they're trying to push an agenda.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's just what it is. I'd put Birdcage in that same kind of... If you've never seen that one, then...
I haven't.
We'll have to watch that one soon. It's a great one. But let's get back to Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Romeo plus Juliet.
Romeo plus, if you want to find it. Yeah, Romeo plus Juliet. 1996.
96. And seeing all these folks so young, except for the two old guys, and the priest who looked the same as he always does in every movie he's ever in.
He looks exactly the same. He doesn't
I can't-
age. I think I think he was born looking like that.
Yeah, he was
And
born middle
It's like
aged, and yeah.
we're almost 30 years later, and he still looks the same.
I can't remember what else I've seen him in lately, because I feel like he's been in a lot of stuff. But I feel like is there a movie we've watched recently that he played a priest in?
Man,
Do we want to say yes?
I kind of want to. Like, can we? I'm gonna look him up on the old IMDb
Okay,
right now.
while you're
actually,
doing
because
that,
I think I'm in agreement with you. Like, I can see.
I feel like he plays that priest role a bit. So, 20...
He was in the Lost World, Jurassic Park.
He was, wasn't he? Is that the... Which one?
Oh, he was a priest in the Omen, the 2006 Omen.
No,
But I haven't seen that one
I
yet.
haven't seen that one.
That's probably all that we would recognize.
I feel like he's been in something.
He was in Alien. He was in.
He was an alien, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was in Hamlet from 1990. But look at that. He's in multiple William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
What else?
Sad that I didn't.
Have you ever seen that Eon or Aeon Flux?
Aeon Flux, yeah, that was a good movie. Charlize Theron.
I haven't seen that one, but he was in that one.
Yeah, I couldn't point him out because I've only watched that one once, and it was when it first came out in what, like 06?
But he hasn't been in a movie since 2011.
Really?
The last movie he was in was Killing Bono.
I don't even know that one. Okay, let's get on to Metacritic of our movie that we watched. Unless you're busy over there.
Nope, you're good.
Okay. So, the critics, 20 critics out of 100.
So, man, this is going to be a tough one because it's Romeo and Juliet. So that's got to give some points somewhere. I think the critics are going to go with a 72. I think they like the adaptation.
I think this one lost a little bit because of the youngness of the cast, so to speak.
Well, they're young.
60.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't bad, but ain't good. 154 users out of 10.
I'll give them the 7.2.
You guess the same thing for both?
Well, I mean, I was, yeah.
I will say this is one of the closer critic to users I've seen in a long time. 6.3.
Oh, okay.
Only 3 points higher on the users.
That's super close. I've only seen this movie twice now. The first time I think I was in high school, and I watched it this time. I actually thought I enjoyed it more now than I did when I was in high school, coming fresh off of reading the whatever you would call it, poem for freshman English.
This would have been like, I guess if a teacher was looking to show a high school class a Romeo and Juliet movie nowadays, this would be one to show. Because I think kids would actually be like, wait, what? This is in modern times, or as modern as 96 can be.
See, when I was in high school, my teacher showed us the canceled one. It was older.
50s
but
or 60s?
I think it was 60s, 50s or 60s. It was color. It was a color. So I think it was 60s. But the one that's like, they legit were both young and they showed stuff.
Oh.
And now they're like canceled and getting sued and everything. That was one we saw. The teacher fast forwarded it through all the bad stuff.
I vaguely remember watching. I think my teacher did the same thing. Or maybe did fast forward, I don't remember. This says, let's just skip that. I was going to read a summary, but everybody knows Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
So, critics, we have 12 positive, 6 mixed, 2 negative. I like it when there's some negatives because I love reading those.
Yeah.
Users had 82 positive, 41 mixed, 31 negative. We've never heard of this publication. Rolling Stone gives it 100.
Okay. Oh, wow. Nice.
We don't ever see Rolling Stone on here.
No, not usually.
Amid the clamor from outraged purists and Shakespeare spinning in his Stafford on Avon, England grave. Okay. You should notice that Luhrmann and his two bright angels have shaken up a 400-year-old play without losing its touch. Poetic innocence.
Yeah.
Then we have your favorite chronicle.
Yeah.
The Austin Chronicle. I love when they're on here. Gave it an 89.
All right.
This Romeo and Juliet is a rich visual feast, besotted with the fervor of its acrobatic camera work and kinetic staging, and its mind-bending aggregation of unrelated but resonant fragments of 20th century iconography.
Okay.
I did notice that there was some weird camera work and some weird cinematography stuff they were doing. Like, the first time Juliet was on screen with her mom and her mom was getting dressed, there were like those speed up where they would like speed time.
Yeah.
But if you really paid attention, only the maids and her, only the maids that were dressing her were sped up, and everybody else around were like almost in like real time.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And they would like speed it up, but they were still talking, and like sometimes they'd still be kind of talking. I will admit there was some interesting camera work, and it was always fixated on that statue.
Yeah. At the church.
Yeah, because they're near the end of the movie with the spotlight, they were like following Romeo to the church. Then all of a sudden the spotlight like leaves him and goes up to the statue. Then it cuts him to running in and like into the church. It's like, wait, okay,
Yeah.
oof. I think this might be the Pantless Podcast first.
Oh, okay.
The San Francisco Chronicle.
Well, we've had them before.
Well, they're not the first. Gave it a 0.
Wow! How is that even possible? How can you give something a 0? It had words.
It had people in it.
Yeah,
It came out.
Yeah, people were like moving.
Leguizamo was in this movie, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
The result is embarrassing, quick cuts, and shaky handheld camera work, bad acting, and lots of attitude.
Okay.
Did they watch the movie?
I don't think so.
Let's see here. I had to click on some things to see. So, Salon gave it a 30. It would be destined for the trash heap of Shakespeare adaptations, if not for its female lead and its heart 17-year-old Claire Danes. They're saying she was 17 in the movie. I did some math on when she came out in 96. She was born in 79.
Yeah.
Is that 17? Did I do my math wrong?
I think so, because, yeah, that's 17.
But if the movie was filmed, I'm doing too much head
Well, yeah, if the movie was filmed before that, then yeah, you're right. She probably was during the film.
like when it was being filmed.
Yeah.
So she would have been closer to 16, 17. I did my math wrong. But still, it's like, He was 21. Alright, let's get to what I want to read about. Common Sense Media.
Yes. Who do we got?
S. Jordan Mattis.
Ooh, that's new. Okay.
I think that is new. I don't think I've heard this one before.
Yeah, I don't recognize that name at all.
Uh,
Because if I did, I would say, "Oh, Mad Dog Mattis." But
There it is.
I've never said that before.
I like it. So, Mad Dog gave it 4 stars for 16 plus.
Okay, that's fair. I like it. I would agree.
Optically brilliant, violent update of classic.
I guess. I mean, is it more violent because there's guns involved?
But was there really much gun violence? They shot guns, but did you ever see someone get shot?
Not really. Like, even when Leo was shooting Mercutio, you know.
You didn't.
Or not Mercutio, the other. Leguizamo's guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Tablet.
Yes. Yeah.
Double. Yeah,
Tablet. I like Tablet. Yeah, I like Tablet. Yeah. When Romeo was shooting Tablet, you never even actually saw him. Like, you just saw him going. Rah!
And then you see like him like fall back, but you didn't see any wounds, no blood. In the gas station when they were shooting at each other, he shot a couple of them actually got shot.
Yeah.
As they were driving off, but all of them were still alive at the end with like no wounds.
Yep.
Because technically the guns were swords.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could have people shooting at each other and everyone dying, because in sword fights, not everyone dies. You get nicks and cuts and you get beat up a little bit, but you don't always get stabbed.
Right.
So, it was weird. Fine. We'll get into that. So, 16 parents, 13 plus, 4 stars.
Okay.
Kids say, 94 of them. Must have been a lot of kids watching this at school.
Yeah, you're right, probably.
13 plus, 4 stars. So, parents and the kids all agree. And they think 13 plus where the reviewer says 16. So,
yeah, I think I would agree more with the 16, because I don't really think you're introduced to Romeo and Juliet until you're about 15.
Me, as a 39-year-old, had issues following the dialogue.
Yeah.
I think anybody younger than 16 would also have issues following the dialogue.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you're, you have to have at least been exposed to it to be able to follow it.
So I think anybody younger would be like, they're talking weird, I'm bored, and go leave.
Yeah.
So, ooh, they kissed, I'm bored, and leave. He's in a swimming pool, I'm bored, and then leaves. So, positive messages.
Goodness. I think I could stretch and give it a 1, because it shows how stupid these types of feuds are. But that's a stretch. It wouldn't surprise me if they said not present, but I would give it a 1.
They did give it a 1.
Okay.
But I don't understand their explanation. The violence of this adaptation does an excellent job of obscuring the message of peace at the root of the story.
I think that's what I said. Just they did it. I think so. But they did it in a worse way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Positive.
Good job, Mad Dog.
Positive role models.
This one, I'm going to say not present, because they all kind of suck. The Prince, maybe, but they all kind of suck.
But was he in the movie enough to really make an impact in the movie?
I don't think so. That's why I would give it a not present, because
they gave it a 1.
Okay.
Another 1. Predominant figures commit murder, aggravated assault, and glamorize violence through the use of decorative, threatening weaponry and fashion.
Okay.
Dang right. Romeo makes a vengeance killing. The two protagonists take their own lives. We all knew this going in.
And where is the positive role model in there?
I don't really know.
They didn't mention one positive aspect to anything.
I just saw what?
Unless they had the view of, we can't give a 0 and we can't give a 5. So
they can give not present because I gave a not present to something further down the road, but
okay,
those two didn't make any sense. Violence and scariness.
I could give this one a 3.
You could.
There wasn't a lot of like we talked about. There's nothing explicit, nothing gory. There's a lot of implied, a lot of scenes.
I would give this a 3.5 to 4. They gave it a 5.
A 5? No.
Bloody gangster style shootouts, gunplay, car assaults, murder, and suicide.
I could see. Okay, I could see the 4. I probably still would give it a 3, but I could agree. I could say 4. I could go with that. But 5 is outrageous.
Just
have they never seen like Saw or a movie like that where, and you're gonna say this is the same amount of stars as that?
Do you think them killing themselves at the end is what would give this a 5 in a parent review?
It could be. It could be.
Because
it could be the over dramatization of lost loves that, I can't be with them, so I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
I could see where somebody might want to be like, I'm going to up this just for that sake. But
everything else would be like a 3 to 4, but that would be like, because kids might watch this.
Yeah.
I can agree with that, but I still have an issue giving really much of anything a 5.
Yeah.
You're telling me this is the worst there's been?
It's exactly the same as Saw, sir. It's exactly the same. It's a 5.
Yeah. Sex, romance, nudity.
I would probably give it a 2. We saw them take their shirts off, but you never saw anything. It was just her back. So, and there was some kissing. So I'd say a 2. Maybe a 3 if you want to say because they touch chests.
They give it a 3.
Okay.
Frank and demonstrative sexual humor and innuendo. There was a lot of male jokes. Romeo and Juliet share more than a couple of passionate kisses.
Not many more than a couple. They only saw each other like 3 times, so.
She makes a joke about his body. She kind of, when she's out at the pool and she's like reminiscing about his features.
Yeah.
And she's about to say something and she ends up saying, she's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think the preacher says something about boys always thinking with their, and he says something else.
Yeah, then he says eyes. Yeah, he looks down at his not eyes and then looks up and says eyes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the episode? Boys always think with their ... eyes.
I like it. Yeah, go with it. Yeah.
But yeah, there was a couple of those like innuendo jokes that was like,
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you think it was odd when you saw at that party? It was almost like a engagement party for Paris and Juliet, and the mom was making out with Tablet.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
that's her nephew, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like when they first cut to that party, you see the mother like making out with Tablet.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
That's why she was. If you notice, after he dies, she's like beside herself, like losing her mind, like sobbing, uncontrolling. Like who really?
Yeah, I mean, because that was the same thing when Paris was like trying to see Juliet, and she had just got married, and then the dad, the Capulet dad, was like telling Paris, he was like, she just lost her cousin, she loved her cousin, and then his wife jumped in, and so did I.
Yep. I think she was having an affair with her nephew.
Oh man. And how about Paul Rudd?
How young did he look? It took me a minute.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
It took me at least, like, he was on screen for a while. I'm like, wait, it was the sauna scene. And all of a sudden he smiled. I'm like, that's Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I can see it in the smile. What the heck?
Yeah.
The wife was telling me that the Balthazar kid has been in some stuff, and I didn't recognize. I looked him up.
I didn't recognize him. He was one of the only ones I didn't recognize.
The wife recognized him from a couple stuff.
Balthazar was the dark-haired one. Okay,
he's the one that kept driving Romeo around, the real young kid.
Because he not familiar. In? I want to say he was the guy in Swim Fan, and I also want to say he was in
that movie on his.
And I want to say he was in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Probably.
I think. But yeah. The only one I didn't recognize was that bigger blonde guy from the beginning.
Oh, Flat Top?
Yeah.
He's been in some stuff. He looks familiar, but I looked up his IMDb, and nothing he was in I recognized. So I'm like, this guy looks familiar. Then there was Jamie Kennedy. Of course you know him.
Yes, that was crazy. Yeah, that was one that it was just completely random. But, yeah, he was in there.
Let's see what this has to say. Okay. Language.
Oh, I would give it a 1. There were quite a few scenes where they bit their thumbs at each other, and so I would, sir, we just lost our rating.
I didn't actually put it in my mouth. I just mimed it.
So I'd give it a 1.
Well, they gave it an not present.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
Dialogue is classic. Explicative-free Shakespeare.
I mean, I bet that would have raised some eyebrows back in the day.
There was some of the dialogue was, was like, oh, I can't believe you stopped the cursing, sir. But there were stuff that not.
And there were some innuendos.
There was a lot of they were in your window all movie. They were in and out of mine the whole time. Couldn't decide if they wanted in or out.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so products and purchases. I'm not.
Present. It better not even be clickable.
I haven't even clicked on it yet.
It's clickable.
Yeah. So I haven't even clicked on it because I don't. I'm going to tell you what the rating is here in a minute after I tell a story. Because me and the wife were sitting watching this movie, and ever since we've started reviewing these movies, I watch movies differently now. Especially our review movies. I'm looking for stuff. We're reviewing them. I'm with a reviewer's mind.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for stuff, and I was joking with the wife about we're about halfway through the movie. I'm like, I haven't really seen too many consumerism products purchased. There hasn't been many brand stuff because even the guns the brand of gun was sword. Yeah.
Or rapier or dagger.
Yeah, they were. And then there was the bullet sign that was like, I don't remember what it said. But there was no product. There was no branding in this movie. And I made a joke with the wife about it'd be funny if they gave this a 5 out of 5 stars in consumerism because it's a Shakespeare play and it makes you want to go out and buy the book. Saying that, he gave it a 5 in products and purchases.
What?
I haven't clicked on it. I don't know what this says.
The only thing, there were guns and there were drugs and there were cars. Like, I know they had, Romeo was driving a Monte Carlo or Camaro or something.
All the cars were like brandless vehicles. They were heavily modified versions of I don't know what. Because I was trying to see what the cars were, but they had okay, so I did see like a Chevy pickup drive by at one point. I saw a VW Bug at one point. Like
I said, I think he was driving a Monte Carlo, but like you said, there was nothing that actually showed.
They were so heavily modified. Even the windshields were weird. They were like a roadster windshield. Okay,
All right, here we go. This is insane. I'm scared.
you ready for this?
Gosh,
It
what's
gave it a 5 out of 5 and said heavy simulations of brand names and products.
What simulations of brand names and products?
Right about the time I think I have possibly figured out what their criteria for products and purchases are,
This is the worst
they
that we've
throw
ever
it
had.
left field.
This is the worst that we've ever had. We've never had this bad. You're right. We can never guess again.
No.
Never.
No.
Never.
I don't they didn't even mention it being.
My gosh.
They didn't even mention it being one of the biggest one of the biggest, screenwrites of all time. They didn't mention, Shakespeare.
My goodness. Unbelievable.
So this is about the only one that I think I would agree on his entire list. I don't know if I'd have gave drinking, drugs, and smoking. What do you think?
I might be going under, but I would give it a 3.
See,
There was quite a bit of drug usage, and drinking. There was some smoking, so
a lot
I
of
could
smoking.
give it a 4.
There's
I
like
could
a
give it a
lot of-
4.
They
I
were
give it a
smoking
4.
a lot in this one. They gave it a 5.
Okay.
Don't know if I'd have given it a 5 because I've seen more. I don't feel like they did much drinking. There was some wine, I think, but there was a lot of smoking, a lot of drug use. It says smoking, drinking. A priest imbues unspecified experimental potions, which I don't know if you could really. I would have not even counted that. But he was taking shots of some sort of liquor. There was like a couple times you saw the priest taking a shot.
Yeah, like he was making his own stuff. Yeah.
Romeo swallows a tablet of ecstasy. I'm like, oh, is that LSD? It was that Mercutio gave it to him. It was that pill with the heart on it.
The party. Yeah.
And then he went, right before they went to the party. And I think they all took some. They were all on it. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of, So, don't know. I always have a hard time giving things a full 5. But I could see why someone would give this one a full 5. Because it was one of those, they were so many characters were smoking cigarettes that you stopped seeing it. You almost stopped noticing that, because what's a 90s movie without somebody smoking a cigarette?
Right.
So, parents need to know that this film features a considerable amount of blood, violence, and explicit references to sex. It wasn't a big amount of blood.
There was more blood than the causes of that blood.
I'm confused.
Like they would fall down and then they'd get up and their face would just be like bloody.
Yeah. And he
Okay.
he had runs of blood on both sides of his cheek for like 30 minutes of the movie across multiple different scenes.
Yeah.
Like they woke up in bed together and he still had the next morning it still had this prostitution, brief nudity, teen sex, gang-related deaths, car assaults, bloody fistfights, and a gangster pointing a pistol directly at a child's face. That was early on in the movie.
Yeah.
Makes this film inappropriate for kids under the age of 17. There's a strong emphasis on guns that can easily be seen as glamorization. Characters sport decorated pistols and fashionably threatening jewelry, skull rings, dagger belts. Not to mention an ad for bullets.
Okay.
Background scenery makes much of billboards, posters, and license plates designed to mimic soda, liquor, and cigarette ads.
Okay.
But they were cheap and couldn't afford the real stuff, so they just made fake stuff like most movies do.
Right.
Prostitution? Where was that at?
I do remember the one towards the beginning. There was. It might have been Mercutio in a dress, but there was a scene where there was like they were at the beach and there was like a woman like in a gold dress.
That was him.
In
That was
front of the
Mercutio.
guy.
That was Mercutio.
And I'm just like, is that like portraying a prostitute? But yeah, it looked like Mercutio. But then Mercutio was wearing a different colored dress after that. So I don't know.
But
anyway.
who would? But how many people would pick up on that? That's what the. What's the? Is Mercutio the brief nudity as well? Because he did when he in the first scene that he was actually talking, he like you see the back of it. He almost like lifted up the back of his little skirt. You saw it quite a bit.
Maybe it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, I don't remember seeing that.
I don't remember even seeing a top of a butt crack. So
we may have seen a bottom of one.
Mercutio's, yeah.
Okay, so one adult gave it a 14 plus 5-star review. It's quite long, but I might read the whole thing. Just spot on.
Oh, wow.
Most of the reviews for this film leave me wondering how many people actually read the original play. Don't watch this film and complain about the violence and sexuality. The original play is rife with both. The opening scene is a street brawl. 2 characters are later killed. 2 more commit suicide. While exploring the text in class, I tell my students to assume that everything that comes out of Mercutio's mouth is reminiscent of 50 Shades of Grey. He's absolutely filthy, and both Romeo and Benovolio, that's
Flat Top.
Flat Top.
Okay.
Get it on whenever they're together, and Romeo's not moping about. I guess they were... I don't remember that in the original play.
Nope.
They did. Now, when they were right before they went and shot pool, they did make some comments to each other that made me think, huh? Are they going to go do some things? They made some of the original text there. Kind of, I don't remember exactly what they said.
Way.
Yeah. The only reason Romeo is so depressed at the beginning of the play is because he can't get any from Rosaline, a girl he's been hounding but who has been unwilling to respond. This is a book about reckless and thoughtless teens with too much time on their hands and too much money in their blood. Oh, that's interesting. Never heard of it said that way. I'm not going to read it. He goes on about more of that stuff. But here's 1 year ago, a parent said 14 plus 4-star, a phenomenal adaptation of Shakespeare's play. So it seems like parents love this, but are saying, yeah, we might not want your kids to watch it.
Right.
But I don't know how many kids would watch it.
Right.
That's the thing about, and I think a lot of these reviews miss the mark that today's kids, like from like 9 to 15, some of these older movies aren't gonna keep their focus long enough for them to pick up on some of the stuff that you really don't want them to watch.
Right. Yeah. And I still don't think, because of the old English that, that whatever 1400, 1500 English, it's going to be tough, and younger kids aren't going to be able to follow it.
I couldn't follow it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. So, great movie.
It was very good. Yeah, like I said, it was better now than it was, 15 years, 20 years ago when I watched it last. So, I recommend it. I recommend it for anybody that's made it through freshman year of high school and has read Romeo and Juliet. Check this one out. It's a good one. What are we going to watch next week, sir?
We could watch Yeah, we can't watch that one anywhere. I'll have to figure out how to watch that one later. I mentioned The Birdcage earlier. You said you
Okay,
never watched
yeah.
that movie. It's on
I've never heard of it.
What?
I've never even heard of it.
What?
The bird.
Yeah,
the bird cage.
The Birdcage.
Look this up.
Nathan Lane, Robin Williams, Hank Azaria, Gene Hackman. It's another 96 movie. We'll stay in 96 this week.
Okay.
It's on Pluto TV, Tubi, Roku channel. It says it's on YouTube. So we're gonna get ads with this one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the ads, but I'll do it. I'll do it for the fans. The Birdcage.
It's a very progressive movie. I'll say that.
Ooh, okay. Progressive from '96.
Yeah,
That was almost 30 years ago.
there was. Let's just say Robin Williams plays a gay man.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
I think he's one of them.
I can only imagine what this is going to be like.
I think him and Nathan Lane are both. I don't think they're a couple, but I think they're both of that persuasion.
Nathan Lane's gay in real life, right?
Yeah, I don't keep up with people's.
I don't know. Robin Williams is not because he's dead.
Oh,
What?
cancel. Can't say that. He's somewhere with Elvis.
Oh gosh. Yeah, they're playing guitars together.
Is Eddie Mercury singing for him?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably.
So we'll do The Birdcage. This is another one I'll have to watch with the wife because I don't think I could get away with watching this one without the old lady.
Yeah. Let's see.
She's the one. My wife is the one that introduced this movie to me
Oh,
when we first were like dating back in the 1700s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. When you were like saying, "Hey, Bill, write the story about us. Just we're gonna kill each other."
just say that that's what we're gonna do. Not sure if
Yeah.
yeah, because
You know what?
she's the one that because I remember when we were dating, we watched Tu Wong Fu and The Birdcage together. I'm like, what is these movies that you're watching?
That's funny.
Yeah, close to Flockhart's in this movie too.
Oh, interesting.
There are actually quite a few. And Cusack, the lesser-known Cusack sibling.
Yeah. We watched her in. Wasn't she in Tu Wong Fu? Or what was she in that we watched recently?
She was in something.
Might have been in. I
Oh,
don't remember.
League of Their Own.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, we need to watch some John Cusack stuff.
We've talked about that before. You've literally
I know.
uttered those exact words in the past.
I just could
And
never.
Have we not done that? Have we not watched a John Cusack?
Because none of his movies are available anywhere. Like one of my favorite movies of his, Grosse Point Blank. Such a good movie, but it's
Not available.
not available anywhere. Says he's in Multiplicity, which that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. Like, I'm trying to think of some of his other movies. Better Off Dead is a good one.
Better Off Dead's a fantastic one.
Serendipity. High Fidelity is actually another good one. There's another one that's right there that I can't think of. It may have been one of the other ones.
Was it that one? It was...
Pushing 10 is the other one that I was thinking of. You ever watch that one?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Air Traffic Controller.
Oh, we did watch John Cusack because he was in air that one with Nick Cage and the airplane
He was in Con Air. He
on
was.
air. Yes, yes, yeah.
So yes, we did watch a Cusack movie. If you really wanna
And you
split
said air traffic
hairs.
controller, and I'm like, we've seen him in an airplane movie.
Yeah. Pushing 10's a really good one. Him and Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay,
It was
that's another we need to put on our watch list. We tried to watch one time, but we couldn't find it anywhere. Anywhere, not even like where we can find stuff. Sling Blade. Like
was
that
that
needs to
one?
be.
Could we not find that one?
We could not find it anywhere. Anywhere. So we need to put that on our radar. Like if that
That's
ever pops
right.
up on one of our things, we need to come back to it.
I forgot who all was in that movie. Ripped that guy. John Ritter.
Oh yeah.
I remember when he just suddenly passed away. Like out of the blue, just had a heart attack and died. He was the star of that show 8 Simple Rules. You remember that one?
I never really watched it, but I do remember
My
it.
parent that was back that was back in the day when my parents were big, like as a family, we were a big sitcom family. You know, we'd sit down and watch our shows, you know, every night. And that was one of the shows that we watched. And I think that's where what's her name from
Yeah.
Big Bang
Kelly
Theory.
Cuco.
Yeah, she was the teenage daughter in that show. And they were a couple seasons into the show, and then he just died.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, what? They just stopped the show. Just I think they were in the middle of a season, and they were like had like 1 or 2 seasons out, or 1 or 2 episodes out when he passed, and they like released the last, and they did like a memorial thing for him in like the last episode, and then just that was it.
Yeah.
So I will. Dwight Yoakam's in Sling Blade. I'll look into that. That's another '96 movie.
Oh, all right.
But I think, wow, this might be the longest episode we've ever done.
Goodness, and it just flew by.
I
I
didn't
think
realize.
just because you said his name, I'm gonna find whatever Spotify's #1 Dwight Yoakam song is.
Heck
I'm gonna
yeah,
add
do
it to our playlist.
When I'm out and about here in the next couple weeks, if I run by a place that sells used videos, I'll see if I can find Sling Blade.
Okay.
And we'll figure something out there. Cause I don't know if I'm looking at. I don't know if I've ever watched it.
I don't think I have.
I know I've never watched it start to finish. I think it's just one of those movies I've always just caught bits and pieces. I never actually watched as that was 90s. I think that's just probably one of those movies that never entered the household whenever I was growing up.
Right. Probably.
Because that came out before, that was 96. I didn't really get a driver's license, start driving until like 2000, 2001. So, didn't really get to go to movies without my parents taking me until early 2000s. So,
Right, yep.
didn't watch movies in theaters unless mom and dad took us. And they didn't watch movies like that, so. But, you know what? That's talk for another day.
Yeah. Let's call it.
What are you calling it?
Calling it a night.
I
I'm about to get off here. Get ready. Got to travel tomorrow. Driving all the way to Glenpool.
Oh, you're going the opposite direction is what I'm going.
Really?
We're going to Neosho, Arkansas.
Ooh.
No, Neosho.
I thought it was on Missouri.
Missouri. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say. I was like, "There's a Neosho, Arkansas."
No, I'm sorry.
Is Neosho the one with that giant church? Which one?
Oh,
Or am I thinking of something else?
couldn't tell you. Never been there, but I'm driving there tomorrow.
There's like a church in one of those little towns in Missouri. I thought it was Neosho, but the congregation of the church is literally 3 times the size of the town.
Oh, nice.
So the town's like, 500 people, but on a Sunday they'll have 1,500 people over their 4 or 5 services.
Good time.
It's so Missouri of you.
Bye, Austin.
Bye, guys.